Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Namaste. I hope you're having a good day. Today is March 19th, 2018. I am no longer a teenager. I am now 20 years old, which is really weird to think about because I used to think I would never make it to this age. I have tried to take my life 10 times through my life, and I'm going to be talking about that today. So, trigger warning, big trigger warning. Please don't watch this if you are triggered by depression, self-harm, or suicide. I don't want anyone getting upset by this video, so please don't watch this if you're gonna get upset by those things. I originally wanted to make this video talking about what led up to these suicide attempts and what I've been through, but after last week's video, I realized that I really don't like to paint myself as a victim. I really don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want any of that. I just want to share my story and help as many people as I can from my story. I think I'm gonna title this My Purpose to Live, because through this whole endeavor, I discovered why I want to stay alive. I am going to be going over coping skills in the end of this, so please stick around for that. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell before you go so you know when I post. Hit the like button, and we'll get into the video. I was diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety, I think it was 2012, and I had been bullied my whole life. And so I had a very, very low self-esteem. I literally hated every single part of myself. There was no part of me that I loved or even liked, and I wanted to die. There were a lot of reasons why. I don't want to get into all of them, but the main reasons were this world is really messed up. There's a lot wrong with it. It's really hard for an empath like me to see all these people in pain and then be fine and dandy with their life. I no longer watch the news because of this reason, and because I hated myself. So I hated living with myself. I started self-harming very severely in 2013, I believe, and it got to a point where I was doing it every day. I even went to the bathroom stall sometimes and would do it at school. I would go to bed at night praying that I wouldn't wake up, and every time I woke up, I would cry because I just wanted to die. And to not make this video too long, I'm not going to go too into depth into a lot of stuff. I'm going to be mostly talking about treatment. But I do want to let you guys know how bad it was, just so you know that no matter how bad you are, you can get better. So I tried killing myself in multiple ways. I tried asphyxiation. Wow, that was really hard to say. And I tried bleeding out. I tried both at the same time once. And then my much more serious times where I did almost die, I overdosed. The first time I took all of my medications. I was prescribed antidepressants, anti-anxiety, ADHD medications. I was on 2 anti-anxieties, so I had 4 pill bottles, and I downed all of them. Now, leading up to all this, if you watched last week's video, you are aware that my best friend in high school took her life. If you aren't aware of that, please go watch that video and then come back. So that was a big factor in why I was so severely depressed, and I also was really not a very good person. I was hurting people I loved. It got to a point where I refused to make friends because I saw it as cruel for me to make friends and then kill myself. So I didn't want the list of people who would miss me to be so long, so I just refrained from trying to make any new friends. When I took those 4 bottles of pills, I was in my bed laying, just waiting, and one of my best friends contacted my mother because I was talking to people online, basically saying my goodbyes, and obviously my friend was like, oh my god. She contacted my mom, told her to check on me, and so she did. She came in, she asked me how I was. At this point I was very, very numb. I was very calm, and so I just told her I was fine. She turned around to leave, and then out of the corner of her eye, she saw the corner of a pill bottle. So she pulled the covers back, and just a look of horror as she saw the empty pill bottles. I don't remember any of the ride to the hospital, but my stepdad came upstairs, picked me up because I refused to get up. I don't know if I could have even gotten up anyway. They drove me to the ER, And I got there and they told me that I had to drink this cup of charcoal to cancel out the effects of the pills. I refused. I told them I don't want to take it. They said, if you don't take it, we have to pump your stomach. And I started just crying because I was like, just let me die. Just please, just let me die. They obviously wouldn't let me, so I drank it, really upset. Then we waited for that to take effect. I was super duper high. I would not stop talking to my parents about any and everything and told them a lot of things that I probably should never tell anyone. I then had to wait in a hospital bed for a while to wait until I was completely stabilized. My heart rate was super duper low. I was really close to just eating it. And my heart is actually permanently f***ed up from it. I have a slightly faster heart rate than most people. I actually got tested after to see if I had tachycardia, which I don't. The 3 days after I could not walk by myself, I needed 2 nurses to help me get to the bathroom, and then on the 4th day I could walk by myself, and then I waited for a week for a bed in the mental hospital to open up. When it finally did, I was sent out there. It was about an hour from where I was, and the atmosphere was very hospital-like. It was not quaint, it was not homely in any way, and they were very strict. They weren't very empathetic. They were more, we need to get this done, make sure you don't do that. They were very on protocol, which is fine, I totally get it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to skip a lot of these details to make sure this video is not too long. But after about a week in there, I was sent to a treatment center. It was an inpatient treatment center, and I was there for 4 months of inpatient, which means you cannot leave at all. You literally live there. I was really lucky because the other clients there and the staff were really awesome, and I really connected with a lot of them. But in treatment, you are not allowed to have any access to internet. You are watched 24/7. They have windows in the doors of your bedroom to check on you through the night. They shine a flashlight in, and they wake you up at, I think it was either 7 or 8 a.m. And if you didn't get up, you would lose some privileges. You wouldn't get in a lot of trouble for it because obviously you're depressed and don't want to get up and need a lot of sleep. But the biggest goal was to give us a sturdy schedule to make sure we were doing everything the same time each day so that we had repetition. It's good to have repetition so you're not stressed out, so you know what's coming next. But in that treatment center, they taught a lot of DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy. I'm going to be talking about the coping skills that I learned in there. The thing about mental illnesses is that if you want to get better, you have to be open to the idea of getting better. And that's why I was there for 4 months. I was not open to the idea when I arrived, and it took me a very long time to accept that this is where I am right now. If I want to get out, I have to work on myself. One of the biggest things that helped me is making this affirmation box. I used to read that when I was really upset, when I was feeling horrible about myself. I haven't had to read it for a really long time, which is really good. So in treatment, they gave us this ring of, not really flashcards, but like these cards that, I forget what it's called. I'll insert the pictures also of the screenshots. I don't have this anymore. I had 2 of them. I gave one of them to my ex that I never got back, and then I lost the other one. I don't have any anymore. I've been trying to remake them, but I've been really busy, so one of these days I'll have them remade. The most important lesson I learned is that communication is the biggest key to everything. When you have distorted thoughts, it's hard for you to communicate with others because you see everything they do, you see as an attack on you as a person. A lot of the time, depression and anxiety go in hand, and they both have distorted thoughts. And so what's super important is communication and remembering that people can't read your mind. You either tell them and they try to fix it, or you don't tell them and nothing gets better. We did a lot of family therapy in there, and that stuff really does help. So here's a few. This is called a dear man. This is for when you want something from someone, and this is how to approach asking them for it. So D, describe the situation. What's happening? Do not use any feeling words, only use facts like tomorrow is prom. I would go with these people, blah blah blah. Only facts, no feelings. E, express how you feel about it. This is where you bring in the emotion. I want to go. I think I'd have a lot of fun going. And then A, ask for what you want. So make it clear that you want to go, but also be really specific. R, reinforce the other person. you need to make sure that you're keeping in mind what they want as well. You're not just steamrolling them and only focusing on what you want. You have to focus on what everyone wants, or there will be no solution. And in reinforce, you want to make a pro-con. You want to make sure they know that you are aware of possible consequences. And then man, M, stay mindful of what you want. Don't get distracted. Don't go off on tangents. A, act confident using good eye contact and voice tones. You want to stay light and friendly. You don't want to come off hostile, otherwise they're gonna shut down. They're not gonna listen to what you want. And negotiate if necessary. Be flexible and willing to give as well as get. This is called core mindfulness, the what and how skills. Observe. Just notice how you feel or what you see. So you just want to use words to describe your experience. So then you want to describe what it is you're feeling. Then participate. Get lost in the activity. You want to be focused on whatever it is you're doing. One, mindfully in the moment. Do one thing at a time. It's really very helpful to not look too far ahead when you have a lot you need to do. I know that when I'm going to bed at night, I have to completely clear my mind of everything I have to do tomorrow and focus on, okay, but right now I need to sleep so I can do those things tomorrow. You need to take one step at a time, so you're not taking on the whole world at once. One day at a time, a few days at a time is usually what I try to do. Effectively focus on what works. So this is when you really need to observe what works for you, what doesn't work for you, because what works for me is not going to work for everyone else. We all have different reactions to things, our brains are different, and so you need to find what works for you. If isolating yourself, taking time, makes you feel better, do it. Great. If going out partying makes you feel better, great. Do that. Just do whatever makes you happy, what makes you feel better. As long as you're not hurting anyone else or yourself, do what makes you happy. Improve the moment. This is when you are very upset. Imagine better times, better things, success. So look back or look into the future of things that were good or could be good for you. Find one useful thing about the situation for you. So this is a learn from your mistakes or challenges part. You don't want to go through things, suffer, and then not learn anything and just continue suffering. You want to learn, grow, change, and not go backwards. Prayer. Find some quiet place inside of you. This is not religious, this is not spiritual. You just need to, it's kind of like meditation. Put yourself in a really relaxing place. Take deep breaths. Relaxation. Quiet your body. This is also part of that. One thing at a time, just this moment. Think, right now I am upset, I need to calm down right this second, nothing else matters. Vacation, go someplace in your mind or take a time out. This is also the meditation part. You can just put yourself in your happy place. Encouragement, tell yourself it will be okay. It will be okay. Your track record for making it through days is 100% so far. Things will be okay. Even if they're not in that second, they'll be okay. It'll change. You'll feel better. You'll feel worse again, and then you'll feel better, and then you'll feel worse. And it's just a part of life. And it's just a matter of learning what makes you feel better faster when you're down. Accepts. This is another when you're upset. Activities. Keep busy. This is very helpful. Contributing. Get your mind off yourself. Comparisons could be worse. It literally always could be worse. Just remember that. Emotions. Change your thoughts with new activities. This kind of goes along with a different coping skill that we'll be talking about. We'll talk about that in that one. Pushing away, push out bad thoughts and feelings. This is very, very hard, especially when you're depressed. But you need to recognize what your distorted thoughts are. You saying, I always ruin everything is not true. Recognize that that is an over-exaggeration and it's not true. Thoughts. Purge distracting thoughts. If there's one thing that's making you not able to calm down, not able to be okay, just push it out of your mind. Senses. Be aware of your senses. You focus on all of your senses just to stop being in your mind opposite to emotion. Act in a way that is opposite to your negative emotions. If you are feeling pain or distress, don't do something that intensifies those feelings. Instead, do something completely opposite. Sadness, depression. Get active, do things that make you feel competent and self-confident. Physical activity also releases endorphins. Anger. Gently avoid the person making you angry. Do something nice rather than mean or attacking. This helps a lot. When you buy into the anger and you start attacking that person, it really does not make you feel better. Fear. Approach events, places, tasks activities, people you are afraid of. Basically, this is facing your fear. Guilt or shame. Repair the transgression, say you're sorry, commit to avoiding that mistake in the future, accept the consequences gracefully, let it go. The biggest thing is to let it go. You can either focus on what went wrong in the past that you can't change, or you can accept that that happened, you made a mistake, you acknowledge you made that mistake, and then you move on. You can either choose to learn from it or let it take away your happiness. It's up to you. Self-soothe with the 5 senses. Vision. Watch a sunset, look at the picture or poster that you like. Make one space in a room look pretty. Look at the nature around you. Walk in a pretty part of the city, etc. Hearing. Listen to soothing music. Sing your favorite song. Pay attention to the sounds of nature. Smell. Put on your favorite lotion or perfume or try them on in a store. Light a scented candle, bake cookies, smell a flower outside, or go outside just after a good rainstorm. Taste. Have a good meal, have a favorite drink such as tea or hot chocolate, have some ice cream or another dessert you enjoy. Really taste the food you eat one thing mindfully. Touch. Pet your dog or cat, have a massage, they spelled massage wrong. Have a massage, take a soothing shower or bath. Brush your hair for a long time, braid your hair, hug someone, play with something soft and fluffy, notice, touch, that is soothing. Don't touch things that aren't soothing, like a cactus. Don't do that. Breathing exercises. This is very, very important. You cannot stay calm if you're hyperventilating or not breathing. You just can't do it. It's not physically possible, okay? Focus your attention on your breath. There's so many dogs outside. Experience it coming in and going out. Observe your breathing as a way to center yourself in your wise mind, which we'll go over next. Deep breathing. Measure your breath by your footsteps. If you're walking, counting your breath. Follow your breathing while listening to music. Take a deep sigh. Oxygen to the brain helps you think better. Okay, check into mindfulness or wise mind. When strong emotion hits, disaster strikes, or thoughts feel out of control, check in to see if you are using your wise mind. If not, try to balance it out. Basically, we have 2 sides of our brain. We have our logical mind, and then we have our emotional mind. And it's very easy to be caught up in our emotional mind when we're upset. But we have to focus on more than what we are feeling, and also focus on what's actually happening in the world, you know? If someone has hurt you, don't just focus on, they've hurt me. You also want to take into consideration what happened, how they hurt you, why they hurt you, if they're sorry, this, that, you know? It's not all this black and white. And so that is wise mind. When you can use both your logical and your emotional mind, it is called wise mind. Cheerleading statements. The purpose of cheerleading is to motivate and create a positive atmosphere. Sometimes we need cheerleading to increase your positive thinking and encourage ourselves to succeed. You can be your own cheerleader. This is where the affirmation box comes in. Create a list of 15 positive self-statements. Practice giving yourself a compliment every day. If you want to create an affirmation box and just take out one a day and read it, great. Compliments are like cheerleading statements from others. Whenever you get a compliment, remember it and use it when you need it. Okay, this is about relationships and good communication. This is called give. How to keep a good relationship. Be gentle. No attacks, threats, or judging. You want to make sure that the person feels comfortable talking to you. Act interested by listening well. No one wants to talk to someone who is constantly interrupting them. Validate. Validate the other person to show you understand what they are feeling. It is very, very, very important that a person feels that they are being heard and understood. Even if you don't agree with what they're feeling, let them know that it's totally reasonable for them to be feeling that way. Use an easy manner. Smile, be easygoing. And then fast. How to keep your self-respect. Be fair to yourself and the other person. No apologies that are over the top. You can apologize here and there, but just say, I'm the worst person ever, I'm so sorry, you'll never forgive me. That's just too over the top. And it makes you sound really overdramatic, and sometimes people will think that you're trying to guilt trip them or manipulate them. Stick to values, your own values. Be truthful. Don't lie, act helpless when you are not, exaggerate, etc. I'm going to say one more. I'm actually going to do 2 more, and these are the ones that have helped me the most. Nonjudgmental stance. Judgmental thoughts and words can become barriers to being effective. By practicing a non-judgmental stance, you can open yourself to new possibilities and opportunities. Be aware, but don't evaluate. This is just like noticing what emotions you have, but not judging yourself for having those emotions. Sort opinions from facts. It's really easy to get lost in what you think is facts and what is actually opinions. Acknowledge the helpful and harmful, but don't judge it. Acknowledge when you're doing something that isn't helpful to you or someone else, but don't judge yourself for doing that. You just need to acknowledge it and then try to change it. Don't judge, you're judging. Don't judge yourself for judging yourself. And then this last one, radical acceptance. By far the one that has helped me the absolute most. Everyone goes through pain. Acceptance is what allows us to feel the pain but not hold on to it and suffer. Pain and suffering are not the same thing. When you begin using radical acceptance, you stop fighting reality and can begin to cope with the pain. Radical acceptance is not bargaining. Radical acceptance doesn't mean you approve of what happened. Radical acceptance is not giving up or giving in. Try using radical acceptance when you're in a situation you cannot change. Ask yourself, can I change the situation? If your answer is no, this is a good indicator that radical acceptance may be needed. Pain is in the moment, but suffering is a prolonged thing. Choose to let go. Choose to learn from your mistakes, to grow as a person, and just let it go. I really hope this video has been helpful to people. Anyone who wants to talk to me more about treatment or coping skills, maybe you just want to vent, I'm totally here for you. My purpose in life is to help people. I feel like I went through that pain for a reason, and I feel the reason is to share my story and to help people with my story, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to suffer. I know what it's like to want to kill yourself and want to die and hate every aspect of yourself. I know what that's like, but it doesn't have to define you. You can change. You can learn to love yourself. Please let me know in the comments what your favorite coping skill was, and I really hope you guys have a really awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me. I'm almost at 200 subscribers. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Have a great day.